Hola,
Hola, ¿cómo estáis?
soy Greg,
Soy Lisa.
and we are back for another Spanish Journey update. And it's been a minute since our last update, so we're excited to get back on here and just share with you what we've been up to and what we've been experiencing. But before we do that, I'm at level 5 and about 780 hours.
I'm also at level 5, about 775 hours.
And what we've been up to is we've been just running around like crazy trying to get settled into this beautiful country here in Spain. Now, I know that some of you out there have life stuff going on too. So that just kind of makes us like family, right?
Yes. So as Greg mentioned, we've been really busy, and everything has been new. Doing all this life stuff has been like super stressful.
Yeah.
We've been doing some big tasks like registering our address, opening a bank account, paying taxes.
Yeah. Taxes.
Yeah.
Never going to get rid of those. So,
No.
but now what we want to do is we just kind of want to give you an update on where we are on our journey and kind of how we're feeling. So we've had some pretty interesting revelations here. Now, did you want to go first? I mean, how have things been going?
Well, as always, I'm changing things. I reduced my listening minutes, which has allowed me to read more and listen to language transfer more often. And there's a reason I'm doing this. There's someone documenting her journey with Dreaming Spanish, OXJC. She was talking about the burnout of screen time. And when she was talking about it, it was super relatable and something I was experiencing but didn't even realize it. It's basically just burnout of constantly thinking and watching Spanish videos.
Right.
Feeling guilty for not watching Spanish, feeling guilty when you want to listen to music or just have silence every once in a while.
Yeah.
So it's been something I've been struggling with on and off, deciding whether to screw Spanish for the day or just relax when I feel like it, or sometimes just go hardcore.
Yeah.
So even though we're in Spain, I know firsthand how much we need to know Spanish, but it still doesn't motivate me some days. So motivation has been hard sometimes.
Well, that's interesting because, like, for me, like, it's not enough hours in the day. I would do Spanish all day if I could.
Yeah.
So
Seriously, we have completely different experiences learning Spanish. It's super interesting.
yeah.
But because of that burnout, though, I reduced my listening time to 100 minutes just for the moment. So on a good day, I listen to 100 hours or 100 minutes of Dreaming Spanish and YouTube videos. I read about 20 minutes, and then I listen to either one or two language transfers. And on a day, I get at least my listening done.
Right. So I've had quite a few things come up for me since our last update. But what my plan is to watch 30 minutes of beginner videos, 30 minutes of intermediate videos, 60 minutes of advanced, and 60 minutes of YouTube for a total of about 3 hours per day. Now, I haven't reached my goal not once in weeks, so who knows why I keep it at that level. But, maybe it just makes me feel like I'm really doing something or, also I think it kind of motivates me each day to kind of get up and get going. So now I'm sure there's some deep psychological explanation behind it, but, like Lisa was saying, we've been super busy and I have been able to do about 90 minutes per day. I haven't been able to do any YouTube, but I've actually been reading, which has been a huge game changer for me. And we'll talk more about that here in just a moment.
Okay.
But for comprehensible input, what I've been noticing is that when I'm not watching videos, as I'm kind of going through my day, my brain is trying to put sentences together in Spanish. It's really interesting. I find myself kind of asking, like, how would I say that? I used to think about this, like every once in a while, but now it's almost all the time. And I've also noticed that I'm able to recall some words without really thinking about it. Like Lisa will ask me, how to say a certain word, and it just comes out. But when I say it, I'm not really sure it's the right word, but it's just what came out. And then we'll look up the word, and it's the right word.
Yeah.
So, and then, another thing is that I'm noticing that I try not to know exactly how a word or phrase translates into English. I just know when I'm supposed to say it. Now, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but that's just kind of what's happening for me.
Yeah, I think it's super apparent now that you can't translate an English sentence into a Spanish sentence. Even if I think about it in English first, I know I can't translate it word for word because half the time I know it's not how it's said.
Yeah. So, but it's kind of taken me some time, but I actually have come up with a little system for how I watch the videos. So when I watch the beginner videos, I watch them with an intention to learn as
Mhm.
opposed to listening or just listening. So I'm more analytical. I'll look up words. I try to understand the grammar. Now, I don't want to spend too much time looking up those words or trying to understand the grammar or
Yeah.
studying. I do it pretty quickly, but I wouldn't advise that to anybody who's just starting at a beginner level. You want to watch those videos all the way through. The reason that I do it is because I've already seen those videos and I can kind of take the time and just use them to specifically learn from them. So I'm more deliberate when I watch the beginner videos. Now, when I watch the intermediate videos, the majority of them, I take the same approach as the beginner videos. And for the other videos, I approach them the same way I approach the advanced videos, which is just to listen a lot and try to get the gist of what they're saying. And, I'm not looking up words. I don't worry about the grammar. I'm just watching them as I normally would, listening and trying to understand as best as possible.
Yeah, I do the same thing with beginner videos. I use them as a chance to really hear the grammar and the vocabulary too. It's actually super helpful. So now I wanted to mention one thing I heard from a girl on a YouTube channel called Spanish Hacks. If you haven't heard of that channel, he basically interviews people who are learning Spanish or who have learned Spanish, and they're sharing how they did it. It's actually a really good channel for comprehensible input. So if you want to, go check it out. So anyway, she said something that I've heard a million times, and I think I've said it myself. She said to watch things that interest you, but not only that, watch things in Spanish that you normally watch in English. And like that part hit me because there are still things I watch in English, and it's those things I haven't switched over yet. So in my mind, I was thinking it had to be about cooking or traveling or like some random vlogs, stuff that was fun, but not necessarily stuff I'd watch in English. So normally I watch stuff like ghost shows and scary movies and like energy stuff, spiritual stuff. So it's that stuff. So in the past month, I've been listening to that stuff in Spanish, in the Spanish version of those shows, like ghost shows and stuff. So they're not as enjoyable as they are in English because I'm not understanding them as much, but hopefully one day soon.
Yeah, they will be.
They will be,
soon.
yeah.
So next is something that has been a real game changer, reading. Now, you might remember Lisa started reading before me, and I really just got into it maybe about 4 to 6 weeks ago, and I love it. I mean, we both finished Hola Lola by Juan Fernandez. And that book was super repetitive and funny. And, we loved it as a first book. Now, we are on to the second book, which is Un Hombre Fascinante. It's the continuation of Hola Lola. And there is a lot of usage of verbs in the past tense. So it's super repetitive. But if you know Juan, that's his thing. And I actually find his style to be great.
Yeah, reading helps you learn not to directly translate too. It's kind of eye-opening seeing the grammar. As I'm reading, I'm literally saying, oh, all the time. It makes it so that when you go back to listening to content, you can hear the grammar methods while they're talking now. So at this point, when I'm reading, I see the grammar and I can understand it. I'm not really formulating into verbally sentence. I can't formulate it as I'm speaking, but it's not quite there yet.
Yeah. So one of the things we're going to be doing here soon is going to a local library and getting some infantile books, because I remember Pablo saying that when he read a lot when he was trying to learn Spanish, and Japanese, and he used those infantile books in the beginning. So we'll be doing the same thing, but in Spanish, of course, and we'll keep you updated.
Yeah.
Now, there are a couple dreaming Spanish tips that we have for you.
Yes, 2. Not sure everyone knows this, but I used to watch premium videos, and when they'd say, comment below what you think, I'd always think like, how? Like if you're watching the premium videos and you're watching it from the app, there's no place to comment. But apparently, if you click on the YouTube icon on the corner, it'll take you to the YouTube platform. And from there, you'll notice the same video, but the visibility status is unlisted. It's there, you can comment, and it's super cool because teachers actually go on there and they comment back, and it's kind of a cool place to chat with the teachers and stuff. So the other cool thing that I didn't realize was on the Dreaming Spanish subreddit page. So if you're not following that yet, go check that out, if not just for this resource. There's a pinned resource spreadsheet. Helen Sadei, she pinned a Google Doc called What Are You Listening To? She has it separated by levels, regions, categories like cooking, chess, learners. It's all there. So I went through all the Spain videos and I used the hyperlink that she has. I opened them all, subscribed really fast. It was super easy. So don't waste your time searching for content. Helen literally did all the hard work for you.
It's like we don't even live together. I don't even know this. All right. So it's time for some shout outs. Of course, we have a lot of people out there that are kind of doing it and making it happen on YouTube. And of course, we always like to support them. So if you have a chance, go and like their channels, like their videos, and just going to give you a few of them here. First is David Learns Spanish, and then Exo JC and Oki Brina. Hopefully I said that correctly. So as always, we encourage you to comment and share your thoughts and perspective. We love hearing what you have to say and seeing you help other people. And if you haven't yet, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, click on the notification button. That way you can be notified when we release our next amazing, awesome, fun, incredible video. Okay? ¿Algo más?
No.
Perfecto. Good job. Adios.
Bye. Adios.